friends. So, yesterday during Princess's Sprints, I picked up Area 51, The Reply by Robert Dotrey. I am currently 140 pages into this book. I'm right here. And yes, I do have some tabs in it. I'm on chapter 12. I have a few things to talk about with this book. Today is currently Monday, January 2nd, 10:52 in the morning. So, if I'm looking down, it's because my notes are in my journal down below. So, right away we find out that Johnny from the first book has passed away. The government is saying that he killed himself. His mom and Kelly, his best friend, the reporter who was in the first book, says that he did not end up killing himself. And Kelly says an amazing quote about Johnny. Let me see if I can find it, because I did tab it. His mom is saying, was it worth it, that what he was doing, like pushing forward UFOs and stuff? She's like, yes. There was no hesitation in Kelly's voice. Johnny dedicated his life to finding out the truth, and what he helped uncover is the greatest truth of our time. It was worth it. So sad to hear that Johnny ended up passing away because the government killed him. Then we are jumped into everyone's in Eastern Ireland because they found another spaceship there. The aliens from the first one, we called them the Areola. They're described as short, red-headed humanoids. So that's something important to remember. We talk about Project Paperclip in here, and everyone knows that Project Paperclip was an actual operation of the government. So that's a plus. And in the first book, we find out that General Golic and the Majestic 12 were being controlled. We don't know by who. Was it another government, or was it more aliens? Then there is another alien species called the Aspasia, and they're from Mars. We find out that they have been cultivating Mars, and we don't know if they're in a deep sleep or not, or what's happening, but the Aspasia are coming back to Earth because we find another book, or not, sorry, not another mothership, and they call it the General, oh no, the Guardian, sorry, the Guardian. And the guy from the first one, the first archaeologist from the first book, he can talk to the Guardian, like communicate with him. He's the only one who could do it. And we get a transmission from Mars, and the Aspasia is saying, they said that they are waking up and coming back to Earth. And then they're like, we're basically so glad that you're joining us. And also that there's 4 points in the world where the Areola have cultivated when they were down in Earth. The main point was Atlantis. There was a big one in Atlantis. There was one in China. There was one in Easter Island and Roswell, New Mexico. But that's as far as I've gotten in this book. It's very interesting. I'm loving it. I'm loving that we're diving deep into more of the aliens in this one. And I love the tagline up here. It says, "The message from space we have been waiting for has arrived. First alien contact or invasion." So and also Duncan, one of the other main characters who was sent to spy on the Majestic 12, she is with our soldier guy Turnick, and they went to Russia, and they went underground because Russians were hiding some of the Elia's artifacts, and they found out that they were digging all the way down to the Earth's core, and they found out that the Elia placed a doomsday device basically in the Earth's core, and they seen it, and they're wondering, Duncan and Turlik are wondering if Aspasia is going to destroy the Earth when Aspasia comes. But that is as far as I have gotten in this book. I haven't read anything else. I will check in with y'all later on today when I pick up this again, because I'm definitely be picking it up because I'm loving it. As you can see, I made 140 pages in yesterday. So obviously I'm loving this. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen. I am tandem reading this because it is such a thick, it's like 376 pages, which isn't that much, but it is a mass market paperback. So but I'm loving the narrator of this book too. I don't know if I'm going to find the audiobooks for the rest of the books, but we'll see what happens. But I am enjoying this. I'm loving it so much, and I love that we're getting more talk of the aliens and more talk of what's happening in the government and everything. I love that Robert Dotrey, he puts a little bit of what happened in our history with UFOs and everything, and what's happening in his world. Like some of them match up, like Project Paperclip, Roswell, and I'm pretty sure other things are going to happen in this book and in the series that has happened in our history of UFOs and everything. I can't wait to see what's going to happen because it's going to be amazing. So let me know if any of you all have read this book, what you think of, what you have thought of it, and I'm glad that I picked this up for one of my first books to read in the beginning of the year. I can't wait. You'll more than likely, heads up, you'll more than likely see a lot of sci-fi from me going forward, just to let y'all know. I'm going to get off here. I'll chat with y'all later and let you know how far I get into here today and what else is happening in the book. By the way, this is the second book in this series, so I don't want to tell you too much, although it is an older book, so if you haven't read it, I don't know, the copyright on here was 1998, so yeah. But I'm going to get off here, and I'll chat with y'all later. Bye! Hey friends, so been reading this today. I'm on page 236, chapter 22. So I'm stopping for today because I'm starting to get a headache. I know it's partly due because of my sinuses, but some crazy stuff has been going down since I last talked to you. Russians are in the chamber in China with Shunli and her students. When Shunli and her students got to the chamber, it's like a burial site for an emperor and an empress, the first empress of China. The government closed them in, basically, so they've been stuck. Now the Russians are stuck in there with them because they came in to look for Aurelia artifacts. Now Mike Turcotte is there with the professor, and the professor is going to help Shunli figure out the Aurelia writing. Xandra, that's not her real name, that's her government name. Not her government name, but like the government gave her this name, so she can't say her real name. Anyways, Duncan is suspicious of Xandra, and Xandra works for Star, but no one knows what Star is. I have a suspicion that Star is something in our government, but we'll see what happens. So Duncan's like, why didn't you tell me that the Russians were in there? And she's like, well, you didn't need to know. So I didn't say nothing to you. And Duncan only found out because Xandra was out doing something. So, She read her messages, basically. What else has happened? The Aspasia sent another message to us, and it said, apology for energy discharge that caused your orbit craft to malfunction. It was accident. All systems are functional here. Will depart this planet for yours soon. Will land on your planet in 2 of your rotations. Please indicate where our landing should be. Aspasia. And before that, inside a Mars chamber, an alien woke up and she realized that she was the only one awake at the time, that she needs to wait for the rest of the aliens to wake up. That's basically what's been happening. This book does have a lot of talk of military, so if you're not super into that, I would maybe be hesitant if you're like, military, blah, blah. It does talk about it. I'm okay with it. It's not my favorite thing, but it is part of the story because we're dealing with the government and military, so I get it. I understand. But I'm stopping here for today. I'm like 88% into the book now. I literally have this small chunk up here done. Maybe like 100 and something pages left of the book. It's very good. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I can't get enough. I don't want to put the book down. I'm only putting it down because I have a headache. So I'll pick this up again tomorrow. I'll more than likely finish it tomorrow, considering I read a decent chunk of this today again. So I'll more than likely finish this tomorrow, and after I finish that, I'm going to be picking up the Lights on Milky Bridge Lane. This is my Christmas book from Alicia. This is my next book I'm going to pick up, and more than likely be tomorrow. But that's it for now. I will check in tomorrow with y'all and let you know how everything's going. Okay, bye. Hey friends, I'm just updating to let y'all know I finished The Reply by Robert Dotrey. I give it a 5 out of 5. Sorry, I gotta do it without a glare. This was amazing. Everything I wanted in a sci-fi right now. It had aliens, it had human conflict, it had humans trying to trust in each other to get done what they needed to do, but also not trusting their government. We had so many countries inside this book. So we had Russians, Chinese, we had Americans, we had Easter Islands, we had Canadians, we had clones. We have people who come to find out that they didn't even know what type of species that they were inside this book. It was very interesting. Okay, going in further, the president does not know what star is. So, my predictions in saying that it was us are wrong, because if our president doesn't know what star is, then who does? Because the Russians don't know, the Chinese don't know, nobody knows who star is. One Russian, Charkov, I think that's his name. I don't know, Kartrov, I think. He suspected that star is being controlled by the Areola. And the Areola are, as you know before, humanoids. Alien humanoids. So that's where what I've got there. It was very good. If you're looking for a sci-fi that has alien contact, some military in it, some stuff that'll keep you thinking and debunk stuff you think that's going on, this is right up your alley. It's very good. I can't wait to continue in the story. Like, in the series to figure out what is happening. I might be picking up the third book in this series this month. We shall see what happens with all my reading, but I am immensely wanting to know what is happening in this series and how, as humans, are we going to feel about aliens coming down to Earth. Are they peaceful? Are they not peaceful? We shall see what happens. So, I also picked up the other day, I'll pop it up here, The Hat Makers. I forget who wrote it. I heard Gavin talking about this middle grade book, and it sounded super cute and adorable. So I got it through my library. I'm currently reading it on ebook. It's taking me a bit longer. Ebooks take me longer to read because I'm reading them off of devices. So I'm about chapter 4 in it. I'm in the middle of chapter 4. What's been happening is there's this girl named Cordelia. She lives in this house with her family, and they all make hats, magical hats. Her dad was out on a ship trying to get some ingredients for the king's hat, and guy comes who is the lighthouse keeper and tells everyone in the family that his ship has gone to sea and he's lost at sea. Everyone's grieving for him, but they're also trying to make the king's hat. Cordelia wants to make a hat, but she's not old enough to make a hat, so her aunt won't let her make a hat. She lives with her 2 aunts, an uncle, and her dad, but now that her dad's gone, she just lives with her aunts and uncle. She sent a pigeon off to find her dad, because she's like, if he's lost, then he can be found. So she's looking. So she has the pigeon looking for her dad, and that's basically where I've gotten. I don't know what else is gonna happen. I will let y'all know what happens. So that's my ebook. I need to be picking up this book right here. I'm a day behind in pages, so I need to read yesterday's pages and today's pages. So I'll be doing that next. I don't have an audiobook going right now, so I might pick one up of these up here for an audiobook, more than likely the Knocky Bridge Lane one, because I do have that on audio, so I might just pick that up on audio after I'm done reading my pages for this book. But I'm going to get off here. I just wanted y'all to know that I have been reading. Today is Wednesday, January 4th, 1:24 in the afternoon. Or, sorry, 1:27 in the afternoon. I'm going to get off here, but I'll let y'all know how my reading goes for the rest of the day. Check you later. Okay, y'all. I was just reading The Hat Makers, and Cordelia has a friend. His name is Goose, and he just told her that his brother's boat didn't seek a passage. His brother's boat made it through the rocks, and the lighthouse guided him like it was supposed to. So she's like wondering why it didn't help her dad. So I have a theory that maybe someone sabotaged the lighthouse so her dad couldn't make it, so the king could not do the responsibilities that he's supposed to do. It's just a theory. Hello, by the way, it's 9:52 on Thursday, January 5th, and I'm just reading a little bit of Hat Makers while my son plays outside. I'll check with y'all later. Just want to pop in. This one's sleeping, so I couldn't go in the store with my husband, so I will do an update for y'all. I'm currently sitting at the grocery store. I'll show you in a second. But I made it to chapter 11, page 62 of Drop Dead Gorgeous. I'll pop it up here. I actually have it at home. I didn't bring it with me. I'm buddy reading that with my booktube besties, Bonnie and Alicia. I might pick up the Hatmakers while I'm just sitting here waiting for my husband. So I might pick up Hatmakers sitting here waiting for my husband to get out of the grocery store, and I'm gonna get home and probably watch some more YouTube or put something on to watch. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get my husband to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with me. We'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get off here. Gonna probably read the Hatmakers because I have it through the library on my phone because I need to get through that. It is a middle grade, but it's like 300 some pages, I do believe, and it's taking me longer to read because I'm reading it off of my phone or my tablet, so it's taking me a little bit longer to read. I am liking it. So what's happened in the Hatmakers is Cordelia has a friend, her nanny or her tutor or whatever you want to call her, governess or whatever she is. She's been meeting up with this guy, and they meet in the bushes. That's all it says, so you can presume what they're doing inside the bushes at a park. That's basically what's just been happening. So she's just talking about her friend. In Drop Dead Gorgeous, it's about a bunch of teenagers, of course, and the beginning of it, I'm not gonna lie, it was super slow and boring, and I was like, I really don't want to read this, but I pushed through. Chapter 5 and 6 blew my fracking mind. Like, I texted Bonnie and Alicia, I was like, what? Excuse me, what? I was even saying it out loud, and my son was looking at me like, Mom, what the hell is happening? But yeah, I'm loving Drop Dead Gorgeous. I just don't like the fact that the teenagers are stupid, boring, and annoying, and very naive. Everyone in that book is just kind of making me mad, I would say, in a way. But other than that, the book is good. The girls in there are stupid, like Dahlia. She's dumb. She's a dumb bitch. Like, just dump the dude. He doesn't like you. How many more hints do you fucking need? Type of thing. And the other two girls are just throwing themselves over this guy named Zane. Like, who the fuck cares? He obviously ain't got the hit. So get the fuck over it, bitch, and move on to someone else who's gonna fucking like you, you know? High schoolers. I get it, we were all there once. I understand. But seriously, get the fuck over it. I'm gonna get off here though, and I'm going to start reading the Hatmakers. I will try to do a checkup by the end of this night. Tonight, if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow. Boy.
I know I'm not that tall. I know I'm not that smart. But let me drive my van into your heart. Let me drive my van into your heart.
Hello, my fellow humans. So today, I read to chapter 17 of Drop Dead Gorgeous, Return to Fear Street. It's chapter 17, like I said, page 99. This book is interesting, to say the least. I really like the parts where Morgan is inside this book. She's my favorite character so far. All the other characters are just too naive and juvenile right now, I will say. Not to say that Morgan isn't either, but with her parts, just the story is more interesting, and it moves along at a faster and more a more intriguing pace, I would say. But read this. I want to read a little bit more of The Hatmakers by Tamsin Muir. I haven't read too much of it, maybe like a few pages here and there in chapter 8 since yesterday. I'm gonna try to read on my laptop and see how that goes for me, to see how long it takes me to get a headache, I guess, because reading on my phone, it doesn't take me that long to get a headache if I'm reading on my phone, because it's a smaller screen. So we'll see what happens. As you can see, I'm watching Read with Alyssa. So read the pages for this. Want to pick up The Hatmakers. I haven't picked up any other book. Maybe I will do an audiobook and play my game. Thinking about just playing some Animal Crossing, but we'll see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to do right now, but I wanted to check in and let y'all know that I have been reading. Today is Friday, January 6th. Yep. At 2:48 in the afternoon. And I'm barely checking into right now because it's been a interesting morning. But I'm gonna get off here. We'll see what happens.
If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about